Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 22 of the AFK Hour Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Lucia, and today we have Nabjer,
Yo.
Stevie Ray,
Hello again.
and Squeaky Toad.
Hi.
It's been a minute since you've been on the podcast, Squeaky Toad. How you been?
I've been doing good. Just it kind of got cold up here lately, and it actually had a snowstorm the past week. So I've just been inside my house being a burrito. You can see I have my blanket here, and usually I'm all wrapped up in it, but today I'm not.
To me, it's so strange that in October it's snowing for you guys, and over here down in Texas, it's over here like nice 90s during the midday, and then at night it goes to low 60s. So I mean, I don't know. I really like the weather down here, but
Yeah, usually over here it doesn't snow until like later in December. Like all November is like pretty much dry and everything's brown, but I guess this year is an exception. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I have my AC on almost all year round. Except
That's
for
Texas
usually
for you.
Yeah, I mean we're all wearing. I think all of us are wearing t-shirts except for t-shirts.
Yeah, I'm
except
wearing a
for
hoodie.
George.
yeah, because I just got off work.
You
and,
already
like,
wear a hoodie.
I got off work, and I'm at the part of my cubicle where it's like right in front of the AC, so it's just blowing down cold air. So I'm just there freezing my balls off. I'm just like, oh fuck, it's cold. And the second I step out, it's like 90-degree weather. I'm just like, okay, I start defrosting, but I'm freezing in my cubicle. It's so fucking cold. That's why I need to wear a hoodie there. And like I just got off work and I just came and I just boom, right here, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go any further, I just want to say happy Halloween, everybody. This is the week of Halloween, so Spooktober is coming officially to an end, but its peak will be on Saturday, I believe. I think it's Saturday? Yeah, it's Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on Saturday.
it's on Saturday
Yeah.
this year.
Spooktober?
I will be.
Yeah.
No,
Whoa,
No.
Nick, look at you. Got a
Nick,
clown
that's
mask on?
that's your normal face, Nick.
So I know for a fact that everyone here from SavePoint, we're excited for Halloween because we have a bunch of little things popping up. We're gonna be doing costume streams. We're gonna try and make theme videos, but it's hard because our timing's kind of off. But we're gonna get it right eventually. But yeah, it's gonna be a week full of events. So hopefully you guys tune in for that. Lastly, I wanted to do a special thank you to Jess Pack for appearing in our last episode. She was fantastic. The reception from the video was awesome. And we appreciate all the feedback that we got from everybody. We really appreciate it. And thank you, Stevie, for extending the invitation to her so she could be on the podcast. And if you want to see anybody else inside our podcast, just make sure to leave a comment, recommend them, or even just message us directly, or ask your the person that you want to message us. That could also work too. So we're trying to get guests in here, make it more common to see more streamers or YouTubers or whatever. It doesn't have to be just about gaming stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, and
So-
if there's any topics y'all want us to cover as well, let in the comments or reach out to us as well.
Yeah, I thought one of the really cool things we did last week, we talked about something that a lot of people say that doesn't get talked about that much. So if there's more topics like that you want us to tackle and you want us to talk about, we're very open and honest people, and we are more than willing to talk about the tough topics.
Definitely. And especially everyone here, everyone's like an open book. Like, even though like we try to we put a front up to protect ourselves, but we try to be as open as we can with our viewers and stuff like that. But yeah, like we literally will talk about anything for any amount of time, like, because we're just really open about that stuff. But yeah, so we're switching up we're switching things up because prior we're trying Eric's method of doing the podcast, which was that we all brought a topic, but this time we're gonna switch. Like I said, we're gonna switch things up and we're gonna do gaming news and whatnot. But first, we're gonna talk about what everyone's been up to for this past week. So Nick, what have you been up to this past week? What have you been playing, bro?
Yeah, so I've been playing Factorial, kind of by myself, a little bit, because I kept staying up late and everybody was busy. Factorial is a game where you essentially just build factories, kind of. So you start building from small resources. You get coal, you get iron and stuff, and then you start building more and more and up. The final goal is technically to build a spaceship to fly out, I think. I never made it that far. I don't know. But it's really fun. You can play co-op, but I was playing single player. And we also played Forza. Don't recommend that game. It's also like 100 gigs.
I love Forza as well.
Nah, hard pass. And we played a little bit of Fall Guys. I don't know. I like playing Fall Guys for a little while, but not forever. Just like playing every once in a while because you just yell at other players and stuff. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, they're trying to add some new things, but yeah, it just doesn't have the same allure as it did. I gotta admit, like we just did our tournament, which was actually really awesome. But even like just me being there, it did get very repetitive. I mean, I sat through like 16 games, probably more than that. And yeah, I was just like, damn, had I played all these 16 games, I would have been bored a little bit, you know. But because it was like we were doing the competition, it was actually really fun, and I was really invested in that. So yeah, Fall Guys, they need to add some more stuff, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think it's because, like, is it because of the repetitiveness that makes it boring, or is it because, like, you have to wait so long in between mini games to play? Like, there's so much waiting time in between.
It might be. I mean, it would if it was maybe a little bit more fast paced. I feel like it is pretty fast, but yeah, you gotta load all the players in, and then everybody gets eliminated, and then there's that downtime from when you get in to where you're waiting for everyone else to get in. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what else they could do, but I agree. I can agree there. It is very slow.
And I think it really, they just messed up on the timing. Like, I mean, I understand from my company's perspective on why they did it like that, but they should have just introduced the levels faster because people, like, they already knew that people were falling. And then also with the spike, like, pretty much a spike of Fall Guys followed by a spike of Among Us right after. So I think, like, if they could have kept the spike going for Fall Guys, because I think a lot of people dropped, like you said, because it became very repetitive into the season, and so people were like, "Oh, I don't want to play the same thing anymore." Like, you only get to level 40 and then you're done. There isn't anything else to unlock except for like random new costumes. But pretty much you're still playing the same thing over and over again.
They tried this. They're trying this thing where they have like a different mode, like the limited time modes, which I think that is really cool. And that if they keep expanding on that, that's gonna be like the winner. It's like, oh, like they got this limited time mode. Like I want to go try that really quick. No, that'll get me back in because it's something different. You know, a different twists on the game because the main game isn't like Call of Duty right now. Call of Duty right now has Halloween modes going on right now, which are really cool, and everybody's really receptive to them because it's different. It's not the same Call of Duty that you're used to playing all the time, and it gets other people to want to play it as well. Like, oh, it's like, oh, you want to like rally your friends, like, hey, I want to go play this, like, let's all go play this game. I heard they did some cool stuff to it, and so yeah, let's go do it. So that's what I think needs to happen. Just more things to get, like, to rally the troops, I guess you could say.
Yeah, not so repetitive, huh?
Yeah, like I know that Among Us, they have like the map changes for the holidays and season, and so does Call of Duty, and well, a bunch of games actually do that, or does this, like Overwatch and whatnot. But just imagine Fall Guys making it seasonal, like all the wall with like little Halloween decorations and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was really surprised they didn't do that right away. Like I thought they would have been ready for like October season 2. Like they were already ready for their medieval theme, but really they should have just done like Halloween, like a lot of Halloween stuff, at least maybe for a week. Maybe it's coming, but I don't know. I think it might be too little too late, but we'll see.
Okay. So what have you been up to, Stevie? What have you been playing?
So I've been, I got dragged back into a rabbit hole, a large rabbit hole with like a lot of the very, very time consuming. And this is called Destiny 2. It's just this little game that's been out for like 10 years. you know,
Pushing.
and yeah, some other of our friends started playing it again, and they were like, I just saw them on Discord. It just said playing Destiny 2, so I popped in and I was like, hey, you guys playing that Destiny? And they were like, yeah, like you play Destiny? I was like, oh, I play Destiny. I think when I had talked to them about it last, they said, oh yeah, we've been playing it a lot, like yeah, we got like 20 30 hours, and I was like, I have like 300 hours in this game. Like, I used to grind this so much because I'm Destiny is actually like my bread and butter. I love like those looter shooters. I love collecting. That's probably my biggest. Like, they have so many exotics in that game where it's like, I need all the exotics. Like, I'm trying, like, that's actually one of my goals right now, is like, I'm trying to collect exotics. And right now their big thing is the Moment of Triumph for 2020, which ends at the end of the season, which is when the new expansion is coming out. So I'm trying to do all the stuff I need to do in order to get that, and it's a grind. So like off stream, I've been able to do that. I've been thinking about doing it on stream, but my computer hasn't been the best. I actually have some new computer parts sitting behind me, like that's coming soon, but I'm waiting for the new AMD processor. So as soon as I can buy that, then it's good to go. It's go time. But yes, I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2, and I'm actually very happy about it. I got to do so many raids that I never got to do before. I found like a LFG Discord, and they've been like I'll pop in there like, hey, I want to do a raid, and they just like drag me through a raid, and now I learned all like 6 Destiny raids, which is really awesome. That's what I've been up to.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys should get into Destiny 2.
Yeah, I never actually got into Destiny 2. I bought it and everything. I mean, I bought it. It's free to play now. And at the beginning, it was really fun, but then I just got burnt out. Just like in Fall Guys, I got burnt out. But yeah, like all games. Technically, yeah. But yeah, like so do you like Borderlands 2, 1, 2, and 3? Because you said that you like those types of games.
So that's the thing. It's like people had told me like, oh, like did you ever play Borderlands? I had never played Borderlands 2. I actually have it, and I had a friend that was trying to like drag me through it, like run me through that campaign before Borderlands 3 came out, and I was just like, I don't know, it's just the art style wasn't like it just seemed like very blurry to me at times, and also it like the guns didn't feel like they didn't feel satisfying to me. Like, and then also I guess because there's no PvP in there as well, so it's like in Destiny I have my PvP builds and I have my PvE builds, so the player versus player and player versus environment. So I'm trying to like oh, I know, and then I have my raid builds. It's like, oh, this is my DPS build. Like, so if I'm gonna go in and I need to do like chingos of damage, I'm gonna use this build. But if I'm going into PvP, I'm going to come in with like this hand cannon, which does like big crit damage, and like this build, and then this super. So I love being able to like manipulate all that. Versus like Borderlands, where it's like, I guess maybe I just didn't get that deep into it. It just felt like, oh, I was getting like the same archetypes of guns. It's like, yes, they were random rolled perks, but I just didn't learn them very much, and none of them felt good to me. They didn't feel like good guns. Versus Destiny has like a bunch of guns, and it's like they're named guns, and it's like, oh, I know which guns I really like. It's like, I'm gonna use the Gnawing Hunger. It's like, or I'm gonna use the Thorn or whatever. It's like, and then they have the exotic guns. It's like those are the named guns and all that. I don't know. It just seems Destiny always seemed easier for me to keep track of like what's good, what's bad, and then also how to improve it. Or it's like, if I wanted to get a random roll of a gun, I know how to farm it, and then I can get something that I think is going to be really good. I can talk about Destiny 2 all day, but yeah, me.
Now hearing all this, Darlena, are you interested in Destiny 2? Because you said that you wanted to play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in trying it because I come from playing Path of Exile, which is an action RPG, and in that game, I don't know, there's a lot of different complicated things, but one of the biggest things that I like playing it is because I like to collect stuff too. So, and there's a lot of unique items in that game that you can collect as well. So, I don't know, maybe I like Destiny 2. From
Have
all
you ever
the
tried WoW?
WoW. I feel like I've tried it in like middle school. I played like that 1 week free that you get of playing it. I played that whole week and I was like, no, I can't get into this game. Well,
One game that I really want all of us to get into for like a month is Final Fantasy. Was it 14? Is that the online one? I really want to play that, like just for like 1 month, and like just to say that I've played it, because I've never been able to get a crew like that'll just deep dive in with me, because apparently that story is like one of the best Final Fantasy stories ever, and I love the Final Fantasy franchise. But it's extremely deep, so I'm really interested in maybe trying that out. Yeah, one day we'll see.
Okay. All right, Darlena, what have you been up to this past week?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Halloween special events. So I actually got back into RuneScape, old school RuneScape, because the newer RuneScape doesn't really have a Halloween event. Only the old school one does. So that event, they had like a person who had a pumpkin for a head because he tried to charm the pumpkin to make more pumpkins or something because he was trying to grow it. And so we're trying to help this pumpkin head person get his own head back. And I played through the entire quest, and then I was like, wait, that's it? Because it was super short. I felt like they didn't really put too much effort into making it into like an immersive Halloween event from like what I remember playing like back in the day. There's only like complete 2 or 3 tasks, and then you'll get all of the loot. And they also like give you loot from previous Halloweens as well, so yeah. And see, I've also been playing Terraria. They also have like a Halloween special event, but it's very like subtle, I guess. So all of the enemies in that game, like the zombies and the slimes, they actually dress up as different and in different costumes. So you can see a zombie that's dressed up as an astronaut, or a zombie dressed up as a vampire. There's slimes dressed up as bunnies, so it's really cute. And there's also like pumpkins that grow everywhere, so you can build like a pumpkin house, or a house made out of pumpkins as well.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, all these Halloween events have been pretty good. Like I've been also playing Overwatch just to get like they do the same thing every year, but they did add some cool challenges. It's like different like twists on the Junkenstein game mode, but I'm always just in there. They got smart with it, and like they make some skins only available if you win 9 games during the week. And so I've been trying to grind that out. There's like so many things I have to freaking grind in a week right now. I've been grinding Destiny 2, I've been grinding Overwatch, I've been grinding Genshin Impact. Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
There's just so much stuff I've been trying to like go up in level on. And then still when I stream, I'm like, what do I play?
Yeah, sometimes I've been playing like 2 games at once. I'd be playing Terraria at the same time I have RuneScape open on a different screen, and I'm just like grinding the levels. So I'd be like wood cutting.
You're wood cutting, getting wood. Level 99.
Yes, I'm trying to get level 99. I'm just playing Terraria, do my thing.
Yes, that's the classic RuneScape way.
Mm-hmm.
Playing 2 games at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes. Now that I have an upgraded processor, I can do that now.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
I also have like a screen open. I have SavePoint open on one screen, RuneScape on the other screen, Terraria in the middle.
There you go.
Okay.
Pretty pog.
Yeah.
So what I've been up to, well, I haven't been really playing that many games. It's been midterms, and the times I do play is like during class. I'm just like on the background playing Hearthstone, a shit ton of Hearthstone. But But yeah, like but it's not the traditional Hearthstone. It's like it's called
Don't listen to
Battlegrounds.
this guy. Bad example.
It's called Battlegrounds, and what Battlegrounds is, it's just like it's a Hearthstone variant where this was kicked off a year ago, and it was like where the TFT like what's it called, TFT well, it's Team Fight
Auto
Tactics.
chess?
Yeah, it's like auto chess basically. That's when all the craze for that game was coming out, and so like Hearthstone was trying to be relevant again. They're like, okay, let's do our own variant. So what this one does is that it's like RNG but on steroids, because you had to get RNG on the cards, and then you collect those cards and you play them, and then those cards auto attack randomly. So it's just like exactly like on TFT, but like it's just card based, and you have to fight against 8 other people and stuff like that. But Hearthstone, it's just like Hearthstone's typically a card game, but like I said, it's just on steroids, like Battlegrounds. But the other game I've been playing is just League of Legends in the background. Whenever I'm tired of Battlegrounds, I play League of Legends, and yeah, because the season's coming to the end in November 3rd, I think. It's like the first week of November, and yeah, I'm just playing. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Other than that, like just midterms and just school and classes. So it's been a hectic week.
Does League have any Halloween special events going on? Or they did not?
So what League does, they don't really do like events or specials or whatever. They do skins. So every year, every Halloween season or Christmas, they always release 3 skins for 3 random champions, and it's themed for Halloween, Christmas, summer, 4th of July, Olympics, etc. So I guess that's really smart of them. They don't really care for the like themes and stuff like that for game variants, but it's just skins basically. But yeah, like that's pretty much what we've all been up to here at SavePoint, just playing just random games, trying to survive the pandemic still.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you've been playing, as well as if there's anything you guys think we should check out, any Halloween events we should check out before they go away.
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna move to the bulk of the news. Stevie, do you want to talk about the PlayStation?
Yeah, so PlayStation is sending all of their like all the reviewers have received their PlayStation 5s, and they were all posting about it on Twitter today. So that's really good. So we're gonna start seeing those unboxings and those teardowns coming very soon. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I think's been happening. Other than that, I mean, they also probably in the past week, it might have been the week before, but they also released like their new UI. They did an intro. They like released like a video showing like their new UI. It looks pretty good. It's like got some strange subtleties, but the timing of it was very strange because they did it like almost at the same time that Xbox released like their UI intro. So they're really going at Xbox's neck. But I don't know, we've had this conversation many times, but I don't think that Xbox is a console company anymore. I think that they're a service company. So I don't think they're really too concerned about with what Sony does as much. But I digress.
Yeah, that's what it feels like sometimes. Then sometimes it feels like they care, but I feel like they're trying to like 5-head things. But we'll see how things go. With just like buying other companies, like trying to expand outside of just the console thing, like we've talked about in other podcast episodes. But we'll see. I feel like we always think Microsoft's going to do something, and then they can do like the smallest thing and then just screw themselves over.
Yeah. Also, at the filming or today, the filming of this podcast, they just released the new iPhones. The iOS or the iPhone, was it 12 now? 12 and 12 Pro. I have my pre-order. I pick up tomorrow, so that'll be pretty cool. I'm actually really excited. I like the MagSafe stuff because so on my current iPhone, I actually have a magnet on the back of my phone. It's with the case, and then I placed it like I stick it onto different things. Like in my car, I have like a car mount that's just like a magnet, and I just stick it on there. So I'm like already in that ecosystem. I'm actually really curious to see if my car mount is gonna work with the MagSafe technology, or if I'm gonna have to buy something new. So we'll see. But I'm excited to get that. I got the Pro version because I really wanted the better camera. I got a wedding coming up, so I'm gonna want to take a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
So
I actually got mine today. Actually,
Oh, you did?
I had mine delivered in the mail, and it came overnight. And here's the box right here. I also got the 12 Pro as well. I know, look, the box so
fancy.
shiny. Yeah.
Unboxing.
I haven't
video
opened it
question
yet.
mark?
Coming soon.
Unboxing right here on the podcast. So, but I got the
Live
gold one.
review.
You got the gold
Yeah.
one. I got the blue
Yeah.
one. So
You got the blue
I'm
one?
excited. Yeah, I was thinking about the gold one, but I think it was too gold for me. It was just like, I don't know. It was very like bling
Oh
bling.
yeah,
Where's
I really
that
wanted
from?
the pink one.
The pink
A pink one, but they
I have it
didn't
right
make
here.
them, so-
It's white.
What is that?
It's
I like
It's
Android.
the good shit, baby. It's the
yeah,
good
it's the,
shit.
mine.
what is it?
Here's a pug.
This is the
Aw.
Galaxy 10.
I
10, see?
have an iPhone 8.
It's the
Right now.
Google Live.
That's
It's
a
the
good
Google
upgrade,
Live.
man.
Oh yeah, I wanted to get the Google Pixel, but like I was explaining to Darlene the last time we talked about phones. I bought my phone last year and it wasn't out yet, the new Google Pixel. So I was just like, I'm not gonna wait for this shit. I'm just gonna buy the fucking Galaxy S 10s or whatever. So I just bought it.
Yeah,
But-
well, they I think I don't know who was telling me, but Google is now they were trying to compete with iPhone, but then they were like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna keep like I think they said they're gonna lower the prices now on the phones, and that's what they're gonna try to do." But I don't know. To me, the reason I got was like, well, Google knows everything about me. Like, even if I didn't want them to know, which I personally want them to know, because like. When I want to know, like they want them to recommend me videos, I want them to recommend me
Yeah.
products. I want to go through, like they go through everything, even if I didn't want them to, they're gonna go through it. Like right now, he's probably hearing to me. Like I forgot last time I was like googling something. Yeah, exactly. I was googling something, and
Writing
then
it down.
the first letter, and then it knew the second letter already, like the second word. I was like,
Whoa.
yeah, this bitch is listening. Just like Facebook, whenever you're talking with your friends about board games, because like my friend works at Google, right? And then he was talking to me about getting a computer. Like he wants to buy a new computer as well, or like build one. And then Facebook started recommending him new like builds, and he was like, "Dude, I just finished talking to you, and this guy has already got me on lockdown about computers."
He's listening into you. Oh my god.
How they get you? How they get you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with the whole Google stuff. I wasn't on the same boat with you, Nick, where I'm just like, well, Google already knows everything about me, so fuck it. Like, I don't really care if they know more. And like, people are very concerned about the privacy, but like today, there's no, especially like today's climate, there's not. Yeah, there's privacy is non-existent. But this is something that the older generation don't understand, but they still fight for it, but they don't know what they're fighting for. That's already dead. But I don't know. This is another topic that's really interesting, but I digress as well.
Yeah, we could definitely. I think we should do. We should talk more about that another day. But one thing I will say really quick is that the new iPhones with their new iOS update, there is some like protections. Like I've noticed that certain apps, like especially with my location data, it's like if say like there's like a new little bubble in the top right. And then it'll tell me like, oh, McDonald's is using your location right now, like in the background without me knowing. And then you can click the little bubble and then go to the app and turn it off. So that way it's like, oh, like, because that's something that like you don't see all the time. It'll tell you, yeah, Androids have probably done that for years, right? Everybody always says that. It's like, oh, you just got that feature on iPhone? Yeah, we've known about that for years. That's like the meme.
Classic.
But to
Right,
me,
yeah.
I've never really cared because like I have always found the quality of like my pictures on iPhone have been a lot better. I think I think their software for their photos is better than Android. I'll make that claim here. But
I wouldn't know. I personally just take pictures. Don't really care how they look. I think George knows that.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, are you just buying a camera or a phone? Like, if you're spending so much money.
He's buying a hybrid.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's like I don't even I never do the full 2 years. I've always done the upgrade programs, so it's like I pay like a monthly fee. Basically a lease. I'm leasing a phone right now, you know, and then next year I'm gonna lease the new phone. So I'm perpetually leasing because like I always want the new hotness. I'm always about that life. So, but especially in my phone, because like, yeah, like when I hear Darlena's had what is it, the iPhone 8, I'm like, oh man, I wouldn't have been able to do this. Like, I used to sell cell phones by the seashore or whatever.
Okay.
You think of
Exactly.
something else, say 5 times fast. But yeah, like back then that was really cool because they used to give us phones. They used to give us the new phones for us to try out, and it's like, oh, check out the like so that we could sell it to customers. Like, yeah, I've been using this brand new phone, you know, and so that was really cool. But because I used to do that, I haven't been able to go back. So now I always have to have the new phone. But
Always a new one, huh?
yeah,
I've had mine since like 2017, 2016. I forget when the iPhone 8 came out, but that's when I bought mine. I actually got it for free because there was like a buy one get one free deal where if you buy the iPhone 10, and my brother bought the iPhone 10, you get the iPhone 8 for free. So my phone's technically free, which I like. And then this year, I have my provider through AT&T. They're doing a deal where you get $800 credit if you trade in your iPhone 8 or newer phone for like an iPhone 12 Pro. So that's what I did. Like iPhone 12 Pro costs $1,100 for like the 256 gig. So I'm like $800 off that. I'll take it. Sure.
Yeah, no, that's a really good deal. That's really good. That's what I always tell people. Always look for the deals. It's like whatever you can find that's best.
Slickdeals.net.
Yeah, deals work.
Not sponsored.
I know, right? I know we've been throwing so many plugs. We need to like say, let's see, Humble Bundle, AT&T, iPhone, Android, Google. All right, just we'll take all the commissions now.
The time will come, Stevie, where we're gonna grab the bag and run. Okay, the time will come. I wish we could just go back to the day where razors were a thing. Remember razors? The flip phone razor? Let's just go back to those days. Yeah. Oh shit!
Oh shit! Money in the bag.
Money in the bag.
I just gotta take this briefcase and run.
If we ever do get sponsored, I want you to take a picture of that briefcase, and you're holding it like that, like really intensely. And then we made it, guys.
We made it.
But yeah, like I just miss those days where it's just a Razer phone and like they could be customized with the color and like you had to press like 10,000 buttons to say hello. Like those were the good old days, dude.
You can just type without seeing. Now you can type without seeing, but you might miss a click.
So like one thing that you guys don't know is that Nick whenever he messaged somebody, he always used text messages, like text message language. And it's understandable if you had a Razer today, but now it doesn't make sense. Like his texting on typing and whatever in his new phone, it's like abbreviated just for text, but it doesn't really make any sense. But like,
you gotta make shortcuts of shortcuts.
I've known him so long that I'm like, okay, I know what this fucker's saying. Like,
yeah, you brought back memories there, man. I remember back in the day when I used to have like. I used to have a Razer and I also used to have a Nokia, but man, like I had that freaking 10 key typing down to a science, bro, because they were always like, can't have your phone out. So dude, I had that shit in my pocket, like open, and I'm texting like blind and like always perfect. Always, dude. You just knew, dude.
And also, they didn't break the bank. They didn't cost $1,000 to buy.
Yeah. True.
I remember I the computer.
I remember I did have one of the first flip phones with a camera though, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's so cool!" Yeah.
Back when the first iPhone came out, one of Nick's and I's mutual friend Belen, she had the iPhone, and we're just like, oh my god, you could use the internet on that? That's insane! And like she's like, yeah. So then like she was trying to show it off, but the internet access was so shit, it took forever to load up just Google. And we're just like, that's amazing. That's just
Dude, I used to have a PSP. I used to use the internet on my PSP all the time, and like I used to have like all these apps, and I used to have my music. I had like 256 megabytes of music, and I was so happy. It was like, oh, this is like 10, like 40 songs, man.
Yeah, not Call of Duty's like, where's your 250 gigs, bitch? You want to play a game?
Oh gosh.
Damn, all these. Remember the sidekick? Do you guys know what the sidekick was back in the day?
Wasn't it kind of like the rumor?
I really freaking, that was MTV marketing right there. I really wanted a sidekick because I think I used to watch like MTV a lot, and they used to always show me commercials for it. And then I think it was like Real World Road Rules Challenge or whatever. It's like,
yeah.
And then the winner of this challenge wins a T-Mobile sidekick. And then they would do the thing where it would flip. And I'm like, man, that's the coolest fucking shit ever.
It flips.
Because you had a full text keyboard. And that was like, that was the hotness. And I was just like, man, I can't have it.
Like even today, like I know that we're trying to phase out like flip phones here in America, but apparently in Japan they like flip phones. That's what hip over there, and they try to stay with that kind of technology. So I think that's really interesting.
There's also some minimalists where they essentially want to move back from smartphones back to those phones, and there's like some versions of the phones that are very like they have even less things, like pretty much from when the bird started, it just has like text and phone and that's it, because they're trying to get away from like being on the internet all the time, social media and all that stuff. And so people sell those, like they sell specific ones that just have small amount of technology and things like that.
Then why don't they just get a beeper? Like those are
Come on.
I mean, you can't make a phone call. You can't use the internet. You just like, oh, someone wants to make a phone call. Okay, let me go make a phone call.
Yeah, you're gonna go find a payphone, George, in 2020. that was the thing. That was the reason for. It's like, oh, I got a beep. Like I gotta go call this number, and you would go to a payphone. You put a quarter, and then you call that number.
We need to bring back payphones. Okay, we need to bring that shit back.
I remember freaking that's two things that aren't here anymore. It's like Lubies and payphones. So in Texas there was this place called Lubies, and I remember I used to go there like all the time to eat. It was so good. I used to get the Luann platter with some fish and some macaroni and mashed potatoes. But I remember that they had they used to have like a freaking payphone bank, which is like, it was like freaking a wall of like 10 payphones. And then I went there like more recently, and like all that is just gone. Like none of that's there. But I remember when I was a kid, and like my mom, when it was like ordering the food or whatever, I would go to the payphone banks and I would hit every payphone. I would do the return coin.
Oh yeah.
Everyone, I would do the return coin and then check to see if I got any quarters. I would just collect. Sometimes you would hit it big and you'd get like a bunch. But other times it's like, or because maybe something got jammed and then you hit it, and as soon as you hit it, like they all just fell out. I was like, oh yeah. But that was my arcade money, man.
Man, those phones were at peak technology right there. And then now, I mean, it's okay too, but back in the day, oof, when those phones, you know you were hip back then, okay? Hip. But yeah, we're gonna move forward to the next topic. The biggest gaming news that's come out this week is the DMCAs here on Twitch, on Twitch. So what's currently is going on is that a lot of content creators are being notified by Twitch through email or through private messages that they're at stake of being taken down completely. And in order to do this, they have to remove all the videos that are DMCA'd. And DMCA is just basically like multimedia that isn't yours, like music, sometimes audiobooks, anything that's copywritten is at risk, basically.
Yeah, well, I mean, so DMCA has been around for a long time, but I think the biggest thing here is the way that Twitch is handling this. So when you think about how YouTube handles their DMCA, what do? Right? They basically just give rights of the video to the copyright holder, right? Like the ad rights and stuff like that, or they give them some kind of cut for the video. Versus the way Twitch is handling it, it's like basically like streamer liability or individual liability. So the content creator, the streamer is at full having to take the full risk, and Twitch is basically saying 3 strikes and you're out. And so what's scary is that they're allowing for DMCA to like basically go back in time multiple years and say, hey, you had this thing like 4 years ago where you played this one song and that's a strike, and you get 3 of those and you're perma banned. So it's not like 3 strikes and like, okay, like the content's deleted. You know what I mean? It would be one thing if it was like, oh, hey, we're going to strike this and we're just going to like make it unviewable and then you can contest it. Like, no, they're saying you did this. Here's a strike. You get 2 more. You're banned from our platform. And for people that make a living off of this stuff, that is ridiculous. Like a permaban is death. Like there's nothing, there's no going back. I mean, you can fight it, but if you can't, there's no going back if you get permabanned.
Yeah, I think I saw. I forget how you say his name, but Tim the Tatman.
Tim the Tatman. Yes, perfect.
I think he tweeted out that he had to delete. Like, I guess I don't know. I don't really know him. I just know that sometimes I see his tweets. But I guess he's been on the platform for a while, and he has to delete all his because he doesn't know. Like, he's not gonna go through all the footage, figure out like where, it's gonna be there or not.
Yeah, apparently, VODs aren't really in question. What's being what's tripping a lot of people up are clips. So for those who don't know, a Twitch clip is basically a clip that can be created by anyone in a channel, like of a funny moment or like something dumb that somebody did, like they did like a funny dance or something like that. Those are also subject to DMCA strikes, but the difference is that right today Twitch's like algorithms and stuff like that, they don't go in and mute your audio from clips. So say you were playing copyrighted material and there's a clip out there playing copyrighted material, if it's a VOD, Twitch usually goes back and mutes it. If it's a clip though, that's there, and so it's forcing a lot of people to delete old clips. I saw one streamer had to delete over 40,000 clips, and another one had to delete over 80,000 clips. And that's like memories. Those are things that live in the ether forever. So like a lot of people, like they're like Lyric, I know he has like his mod team was working because they gave a deadline too. They said it has to be done by this time at like this date, this time. So their mod teams are like going in there and trying to salvage them and like download all of them. And the thing is that Twitch doesn't provide tools to do so like easily, to mass download all your VODs, to mass download all your clips, to mass delete all your clips, to mass delete all your VODs. It's like it's not as easy and intuitive. I think clips you can mass delete now, and maybe even VODs, but as far as downloading them, it's rough.
I think I just found, or maybe you also saw, like somebody actually made something to do all those things, but I think it's like a third-party service,
like a tool to do it on there too. So, but it's like somebody else made a tool, not Twitch. Twitch didn't make a tool, so it just shows that like they're all they're doing is they're just saying like, hey, we're gonna do this, but they're not providing us with the tools. It's like here, like they're just throwing the hammer down. So it sucks. I mean, like people like, and there was some other tweets and stuff, but I'll let you guys chime in a little bit and we can talk more about it.
Yeah, I mean, how are you supposed to save like the chat logs as well? Because, you know, and when you're watching like a VOD or a video, you also have the chat log going to like when you're downloading the video, well, that's all you get. You don't get like the chat.
And there's also no more third party because Twitch removed that. They DMCA those people that had the third party, and they're not allowed to do that anymore because that's property of Twitch. So now all those logs, I don't know, they're just gonna be gone. I don't know.
They're in Twitch libraries.
Yeah, technically.
That's where they are.
Yeah, this whole situation has a lot of people scared, including like us as like smaller content creators. It's like we have to be very, very diligent and very careful about what we do going forward, especially with DMCA. I mean, like I really love Rock Band, like the game Rock Band, but I can no longer stream Rock Band because if I stream Rock Band, I'm going to get DMCA striked for every single freaking song I play. Because even though it's part of a game, like I don't own the rights to the music, which is dumb. It's so dumb, but it's a thing.
The one that I would say is more high risk for you is GTA. You can't play GTA.
Yes. I can't even listen to I can't listen to music in GTA because there's copywritten songs on there. Ugh, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like people have gotten striked for GTA, and so like I'm part of the GTA 5 RP community, and a lot of the talks in their communities are like, like we can't listen to the damn radio that's in GTA because of DMCA. So I mean, and Twitch's solution is like, oh, we have this music streaming platform service that it's all copyright free stuff, which is good. It's awesome, but it's also like I feel like there should be better ways around this, just less harmful ways. You know, like if I was gonna say like, hey Stevie, fix the problem, you know, what would you do? Like what would I do? I would say like if somebody plays copyrighted music on a stream, it gets muted in all forms, clips, VODs, or whatever. Or you can say like you've been asked to delete this, like delete it within this certain time frame or be banned or something like that. You know, like just provide the tools to better deal with it versus. And then there's the other thing is there's a lot of guesswork in this. People are like, oh, well, is this going to be DMCA striked? Is this true? Because it's not crystal clear what is being striked and what isn't being striked. So, and yeah, the whole situation's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, the only other company that has to, or the other social media company that had to deal with it was YouTube. And they've been doing it for like the past 8-7 years. That's when the peak of like the adpocalypse happened because there's a bunch of DMCAs and copyright written stuff. And YouTube itself poured millions of dollars creating their copywritten thing to catch music that's liability for them to be sued or whatever. So that's why whenever you upload a video on YouTube, it tells you right away if it's copywritten and if there's a possibility that this is going to be non-monetizable. And it's so state of the art. It's the most advanced one currently in the world. So Twitch is lagging behind because it's honestly, I mean, it's like a way newer than YouTube. YouTube has been around in the game for more than a decade. And like they're just really lagging behind. And what Stevie was saying about that beta stuff for the soundtrack for Twitch streamers and stuff like that, that's like 2 years too late. Like they're making it so late in the game that what they need that, like streamers need that now, and it's barely in beta. So like it's like, I don't know, they weren't really thinking. And it just shows that back in the day, like when Twitch was originally started, they didn't really like, they cared, but they didn't know what they were doing. The people that were in charge. And now that it's part of Amazon, they're like cracking down, and this is more serious because now they need to fix all the loose ends that the original company owners had. So this is gonna be very devastating for a lot of streamers that are really big, because like they have 6 years, 7 years of just like them VODs, like themselves record, like playing games and stuff like that, and they have memories, like Stevie was saying. But the one that always comes to mind when I think about this is Wreckful. He passed away this summer, and on his stream, it's just replays of his old VODs. Now that's all potentially going to be removed because a lot of his streams were copyrighted music. Like he's listening to music in the background, he's just chilling, he's like watching videos, and like they're gonna potentially have to remove that. And it's really sad because like that's literally his legacy. It's all on Twitch live, and he's no longer around to like fight it or do anything. And if anyone does miss him, like they could go watch it. But after this, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen to his whole channel. It might potentially get banned. And the way that it also works is that CV was right that it's 3 strikes, you're out. But it's not 3 strikes per video. It's 3 strikes per song. So let's say you hear one song in one video, and then right after you hear another song and another song, that's 3 strikes right there in one video. You're out. Like you're banned forever, and you can't dispute it or anything. Like it's really tough, especially if you're a small time creator. Like you're screwed because you don't have direct access to like somebody up there or have contacts and stuff like that. But people that are in higher like partnered and stuff like that, like XQC and Miskiff, like they have direct contact, so they're not worrying about this. They're just like, oh, they'll do it for me, which is like, I understand like that mentality, but it's not a good way to think about it. But yeah, it's really sucky position that a lot of Twitch streamers or content creators are in, and people that are in YouTube have been in for the past 8 years. I mean, I could go on a rant that this is mainly because of, well, not mainly because of Disney, but it has to do a lot because of Disney. But that's another conversation another time. But I don't know. Everyone's in panic mode basically. Like it's exactly like that meme where it's SpongeBob's brain. Like everything's on fire and people are trying to file shit. That's how everyone on Twitch is at right now. Like all the content creators, they're just trying to delete everything they can as much as they can without getting banned.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how Twitch handles this and if they actually listen to the community, because I'm sure a lot of people are upset about how like unfair this is. And if like Twitch does something about it, I'm sure that'll make things better. But if they don't, then I feel like a lot of streamers will try to switch to different streaming platforms.
Well, see, this is not the first time. Like even in October, this is October right now. But I know like some months ago, like they had done another wave of it. This is another wave that they're doing, and I'm sure even before that, like there was other waves. But I feel like they're actually like their game plan is exactly what George said. Like, yo, we're banning people, so we just made this crappy tool that we're actually just making right now. Go use this crappy tool now if you want to stay alive. And probably delete everything else because we're not gonna care about you. We're a big ass platform. We have millions and millions, and I mean I don't know how many freaking streamers they have, and they're not gonna go case by case. Like they don't give a shit. Like we're just money to them. Also remember it's Amazon behind all of this.
I was gonna say that you have to remember it's Amazon.
And who's Amazon?
Yeah, they fucking only care about money. If your company does not make money for them, then you're out. They're cutting your department's out. No more Twitch. So they need to make sure it's profitable.
Is Mr. Bezos here? Mr. Bezos.
Yeah, what
He's
I
listening
think
to
is
us
really
right now.
crazy. What I think is really crazy about all this too is like even like this is really weird for music creators. So like a lot of people who make their own music or even bigger people, like I think who was it that was famously like about this? I think it was like the guitarist from Dragon Force. He played a riff from his own song and then got DMCA'd. like come on. And there's like a brand, like I saw on Twitter, it's like there's like a brand new like K-pop group who just started and is playing their own music on Twitch and is also getting DMCA'd. Like like it's stuff like that where it's like like where does it end and where does it begin? It's like because these aren't real people that are doing these checks. It's bots. The bots are just auto banning everything. It's like, oh, you're using this song, banned, like whatever, and it's so dangerous.
Yeah,
it's machine learning.
It is machine learning, but like in regards to that, a lot of people that make their own music don't own their own music. Like that guitarist probably doesn't have the rights for his own music because the band owns it, or the labeling or whatever, they own it. And this goes to this is like example is Kesha. Kesha was owned by the label records, and she wasn't allowed to play her own music. She had like an agreement, like a contract for like multiple years, and she didn't want to make any more music underneath them. But since she signed the contract, she was literally not allowed to release any more music for like 5 years. And this is why Kesha isn't relevant anymore, and she went to obscurity. So like these companies, like, I mean, it's America. Like it's very soulless. They just care about money, and they don't care about the like intellectual property and stuff like that. I don't know. It gets really convoluted really quickly because it's copywritten law.
Didn't you say that Michael Jackson? Like I think you went on this topic already, but
so
you said something about Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah. So what happened was that I know random facts about random stuff, right? And one fact I do know is that Michael Jackson was at a party with Paul McCartney, and Paul McCartney is one of the Beatles. And Paul was just like jokingly like, oh, you know what you should do since you're so rich? You should buy the library for all the Beatles songs. And then Michael Jackson was just like, okay. So then he just went and bought every song from the Beatles. And then Paul McCartney was just like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't think you could actually do it. And he was like, oh yeah, and I also bought the Happy Birthday. And like what that means is that, or I don't know if you guys ever noticed that people are not allowed to play Happy Birthday on movies, TV shows, Twitch, anywhere, because it's licensed underneath Michael Jackson's like label company. Like that's why like every movie, every show, they make their own version of Happy Birthday, and because it's licensed. And in regards to that licensing, like it's obviously has expiration dates. They have like originally it was supposed to be 20 years, 30 years when they expire, and then anyone literally goes to public domain and anyone can use it. But this is why I was saying that Disney really fucked up everybody, was because Disney, when Mickey Mouse was originally made, it was in the 20s. And 20 years later, it was supposed to be public domain, but they lobbied that shit, and then they prolonged it to the 80s, and then they prolonged it to the 90s, and now it's prolonged to 2024. So now since the 20s to 2019 or 2024, you could own a license. So you could technically own something for 100 years, and it's legal because they lobbied that shit to the ground. So like now, like people are really screwed. So any song that's released in the past 10 years, you're pretty much fucked. You can't play that until like 100 years from now, which is okay. Or if they give you permission, if the label company goes under, there's a lot of technicalities, right? But yeah, Disney really fucked over a lot of those things. That's why you can't do like the likeness of Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny and stuff. Well, I think Bugs Bunny is public domain. Even Warner Brothers tried to like do the same thing, but they're not as rich as Disney. But yeah, like it's just really fucked up. Like all this copywritten law is just really, it's crazy. It's money, America, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
One thing that came out of all this that I wanted to talk about was I think Google is now cutting ties with him, but he was the creative director for Google Stadia. He posted a tweet basically. He was posting a tweet basically saying like all the content creators are crying because of all of the copyright stuff, but they've been playing video games and streaming video games without the permission of get the game publishers for years, you know. And so he's trying to make that argument. So I wanted to know what you guys thought about that. Like, do you think one day like that we're gonna have to get permission, like written permission from game publishers to play their games? Me personally, I think it's free advertisement, because it's like like either people are gonna like your game or they're not gonna like your game. I mean, think of Among Us, a game that was out for 2 years, then by chance of a stream became one of the hottest games of the summer. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, we literally were talking about this before you joined our Discord, or before we started the podcast. Me and Nick were going at it about it because we are talking about it. But I want to hear Nick's opinion again first.
Yeah, I mean, I just said pretty much what you said, Steve. Like, I saw that too, and to me, I think that, I think that it should be free. But there's, I guess what I was saying with George is that a lot of these like games, a lot of the big games actually right now as well, actually have a section that says it's okay to stream this game. And I think I was reading also like Nintendo like 2 years ago is when they were like, okay guys, we finally give up and you guys can stream this game. And like a lot of these big companies, and then of course, like you're saying, a lot of the small companies also have these things. Personally, I don't like buy a game and be like, all right, can I stream this game? I don't know. I don't really do that. So I don't know about every single game, right? But I know that a lot of the games do let you play them. And in my opinion, I pretty much agree with you. Like, I feel like we are like, because you can think about it, if I want to go like in the opposite direction of like mine, is like, it's pretty much a movie, right? It's like the movie in the movie theater problem. And at least that's what I see from that guy. That's what he was saying essentially. But I think like that streamers pretty much make people buy games, and I think some small companies or like some games that are for story, we're saying like, oh, but what about us? Like, we make the games for story. They're just gonna watch it in your stream and not buy it anymore. For example, for Among Us, is the opposite of that because it's not really about the story. It's about playing with other people. So then people will buy it. But for story ones, like nobody's gonna buy it. That's what they were saying. But I think people will still buy. Like, I think a lot of people watch actual like YouTube videos on my playthrough. Like, is this shit good? Do I buy it?
Yeah.
And then they buy it right after and they play it. But I think right now that's not gonna be an issue. I feel like right now they're just trying to deal with this shit. Maybe in the future, I feel like it really depends on how much like streaming changes. Like if the numbers keep being good, I feel like companies wouldn't care. As well as like I feel like a lot of games are moving into the free to play, but like have seasonal passes, and things like that. So like a lot of the games I don't think will have issues of even us having to actually like pay for them. At least that's my opinion. But you can go and take my argument down, George.
What if one day you had to like if you're playing a story game, like and you're streaming a story game, it just like the feed just like cut off and said like do
you want to play a game?
Like must verify purchase to view this content or something like that.
Oh.
Like imagine, like I don't know, like that's just in the back of my mind.
Imagine if the fucking Windows screen comes up. Please type in license key number or whatever.
Oh no! fucking Clippy comes back.
Yeah.
It's like those news articles where you have to subscribe to view the article first. It just doesn't pop up. You can't watch this video unless you give us proof that you have the game.
Ugh.
And then you're like,
man.
are you a good company? Right click, inspect, delete all your shit. Okay, good job.
Before I jump into my argument, I want to hear Darlena's argument.
My argument? What do you mean?
Your opinion, sorry.
Your opinion, yes.
Okay, my opinion is very similar to Stevie's and Nick's, that it's free advertisement for the company. If they decide that you have to like buy a license to like stream their game, that's really dumb. Like on top of the buying the game, right? It's like no one's gonna want to buy the license to stream it.
That'd be really
Why
interesting
would you?
if like you have to buy a deluxe edition, like a deluxe streamer edition or something like that. It's like, oh, I paid
that's
$70
interesting.
for Call of Duty, but then I have to pay $80 in order to stream it. Something like that. That'd
Yeah,
be really
like no one
interesting.
would buy it if they
But I
marketed
think-
it like that.
if they were to do that, it wouldn't be a one-time fee. It'd be a monthly fee.
Oh
think
no.
so.
Yeah, because
Monthly
if they did
subscription.
that, like, yeah, because essentially, like, you're playing the
Streamer
game.
tax.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're playing the game and you're making money. That's what they're mad about. They're mad about that you're making money out of their content, and you're playing the game for, I don't know, let's say 8 months. They're like, all right, you have to pay us the 8 months of you playing my game, so I can get my share out of the money you're making. That's a argument for everything, right? Like you're using my shit to make money. I want some of that money too.
Yeah.
So it would have to be like a monthly fee. And I really don't, I've never worked in the movie theater, so I don't know how their thing works, but I assume it's something like that where like, you want to have our movie for X amount of weeks? Well, you have to cough up X amount of $1 million or whatever.
They make their money on snacks, though.
Yeah, but
to be honest, I think it's a loss. Like, I think movies are the loss leader for movie theaters. And, like, they have to make their money up in fucking snacks, which is why a lot of those movie theaters are going under so quickly. Is because they don't have people to sell the snacks to, and that's where they make their money. You know?
Yeah.
It's true.
But the movie attracts the people to come to the movie theater, right?
Yes.
And they have to pay
Yes.
those, like, the monies for that, for being able to show that movie to X amount of people there.
Yep.
I feel like in the future there might be like a company like Humble Bundle, but for streaming. Like you can stream this amount of games
license
this
fees,
month
yeah.
if you pay like this fee to us.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that dystopia. Whatever.
No.
Yeah. Because I feel like currently we're at the infancy for that stuff because Twitch is still relatively new. It's still a new concept, and we don't really know the full extent of the law that creators have to go through in order to stream. But yeah, whenever you buy a game, you buy the license to play the game, but you don't buy the license to promote it or share it. So this is why, like Nick was saying, that they're mad that when you do start streaming a game, then they're going to be like, you're potentially making money off their intellectual property. So that's why people get really upset, or the companies get really upset with that and whatnot. And like, I understand that it's free publicity. And like, also, if you just like ban or you get DMCA'd for somebody promoting your game, it looks really shitty on them for doing that stuff. Because here's the biggest example. PewDiePie actually got DMCA'd for playing Firewatch. This was back in the day. And Firewatch, it was an indie game. It was really big at the time. And PewDiePie decided to make videos of this. And then after like the third episode, all his videos got removed because he got DMCA'd. Because he does not own the license to promote this game. And it was all over Twitter. And PewDiePie's like, well, I don't know what happened. And the publisher themselves, or the creator, because it was an indie game, the developer was just like, fuck you, PewDiePie. You don't own my game. It's a story-based game. So when you showing it to millions of people, no one's going to want to buy my game. So you're not allowed to promote my game. So like PewDiePie was like, oh, I'm sorry. But at that time, like he was at the peak. This is when I think this was before like he was fighting with T-Series. So like he was still gaining momentum, and he was getting like a really big he had a really big audience, and he was at his peak. And his audience, which just they went ballistic. They're just like, oh, fuck this company, like he's promoting you, I don't know what, blah blah. But like at this point, I would have to me personally, I would side with PewDiePie. I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, free promotion, stuff like that. It's really good for the game itself, but business, like I would side with the developer, because obviously like PewDiePie had the biggest audience like in the world. Even now, like he's the biggest content creator that's by himself. He just makes video games and stuff like that. And he's showing this video to millions of people, and because no one's gonna want to buy it, they just watch it. And I fall underneath that category as well, where I know that I go to the YouTube because I'm a really big YouTube person. I've been a member, or it was Red membership or whatever. It's premium now, but I've been in YouTube since 2008. That's when I've been like, so like all this is not new for like in YouTube, but in Twitch it's extremely new. So like this is like a hot button topic, but yeah, like I don't know, it's just crazy everything that's going on like here on Twitch and on YouTube. But I really feel bad for people that want to promote the games, but the companies don't want to allow them. And this was what happened with. I didn't know what Steve was saying about the Nintendo. I thought that was still a thing because I knew Nintendo, you're not allowed to promote their games. But apparently 2 years ago, they started allowing people promote their games, because this was a huge issue as well on YouTube, that no one was allowed to make videos on any Mario Party, Paper Mario, Mario 64. Any video was taken down immediately by Nintendo.
Yep.
But what happened was that the pressure from the audience was so immense that they just had to cave in and follow what the audience want, because like, I guess especially in the gaming space, the audience voice does have impact. If you're very adamant about something, or if you dislike something, then you just voice your concerns, and they'll more than likely will hear you out and change things. So if people are very concerned about this, then we should voice our opinion and tell the publishers that, hey, we don't want this to change. But I feel like it is going to change, because once again, we're in America, and the only thing that talks is money. So like, if you're making money off their intellectual property, we're going to have to pay the licensing. And at that point, it's not going to be profitable for small streamers, but only for like really big streamers. And you had to get brand deals and stuff like that. And then pretty much everyone's screwed. Long story short, Twitch is non-profitable. It's going to go under in 5 years. I don't know what. Blah, blah, blah.
It's done for. I really don't understand this licensing thing and why it's such like a big deal for companies to want that stuff, for like, you know, for people to buy their marketing license. Because like, imagine like a clothing store, right? You go in, you buy a piece of clothing, it has like their logo on it. Like that store is not gonna like be like, oh, you should buy a license before you wear this shirt, because we don't want you to promote our stuff and like make money off of it. You know, if they like make YouTube clothing hauls or something like that, right? Like if you buy the shirt, you own the shirt, and you can wear it wherever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's because it's like a different thing, right? Like you buy clothes to wear, and itself is advertising. You don't you buy a game to play through it, but not like George was saying. There's a lot of people that, because they don't have to play it, they're not gonna buy it. And so like in the clothing world, like you see my shirt, you're like, oh, this is funny.
I see that, so I'm not gonna buy it.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
I see it on you. I'm not gonna buy it because you're wearing it. No.
well, you say that, but there's people that also do that.
Dude, but the same thing. It works both ways with games.
Like if they want to see like how the shirt looks on an actual person, they would go look at you, be like, oh, so that's what it looks like on an actual person.
No, but I guess like, I mean, you can always go both ways to every single argument, right? That's what an argument is. But I think, I mean, personally, I totally understand like the company's perspective of why they would do this. Like, if I'm a developer and I spend my fucking year building this game, and like if I'm like trying to gouge out money, right? Then I want people to I want to make as much money as I can from this game, which is also why they just increased their games from 69 to from 59 to 69, right? They want more money, like at the prices of games, right? Like we talked about a couple weeks ago. But I want more money, and if I can milk it out of all these streamers, why not? Like that's what essentially everybody does. And it's like right now, like also you spoke about like, what if later we have a Humble Bundle that has all the rights for these games, right? So think about this. About, I don't know, actually it's still here technically, but it's dying. So like about 5-10 years ago, there was cable and it was new. It gave you all these channels and they all came together. You would still pay for it and they'd give you ads. Ads, right? Scary, huh? But now you can buy HBO for $10 a month or some shit, and you can get like pretty much every channel separately for $10 a month also. But now you're getting all of them separately again, right? And so later, there's somebody else that's gonna make the same thing, the Humble Bundle, with all of them combined again, and it's gonna be Cable 2.0, and it's gonna have all of them on there. It's like the same shit. Like people get this shit, then they switch it to a different way of sending it, which right now is online streaming, and then they're like, oh fuck, now we're paying $1 billion to watch my 60 channels that I used to pay $60, like, well, 60 channels, no, that's a little. I paid 1,200, like there's 1,200 channels, and I paid $60 to watch them, and now I'm paying $1,200 to watch 60 channels. Like, what is this?
So, like, I mean, essentially, that's what potentially what the Game Passes are going to be doing. Like for Xbox, they're going to be like, okay, well, these games are license free, so you can play them, and they're free, so you could just, well, they're not free, but they come with the pass or whatever, right? So, like, I guess that's what they're already transitioning. Oh fuck! I'm just thinking about it, like the whole picture now, and it's like they're slowly transitioning us to be okay with licensing. The games are from Game Pass. Like that's insane to think.
Like I was thinking too. I was like, what if like Sony's like, oh yeah, you can stream our games, but only from a PS5 and only PlayStation exclusive games. Like that you don't have to buy any licensing for our games because it's on their platform. You know what I mean? But then how do you police that? How do you even police like Game Pass? Like, you know, like the Game Pass, how do you police licenses? It's like, oh, yeah, I'm playing this game on Game Pass right now. You know, like how do you, like, I don't know how you police, you have to police it in game, and then it like verifies your license or something like that.
Yeah.
And then maybe it has like a barcode in the bottom right corner that has like your license number or something, like, I don't know, like you're like kind of like the what is it, the Windows key, where it's like where it's like it has not, like, streaming license has not been activated or something like that.
I guarantee that the reason why they haven't pushed it so hard on us about licensing and video games and stuff like that is because they haven't themselves figured out how they're going to implement it. If they know exactly how they were going to implement it, I'm pretty sure they would be pushing that shit really hard, at least, in very least, like next year. Like, oh, this is what we're going to be doing, blah, blah, blah. You have to do it. And if you don't want to do it, then don't stream. The end.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But
Milestone podcast right here. We're predicting the future, folks. We're going to look back at this in 10 years and be like, SavePoint destroyed the world. So
Yeah, destroy the world. We gave the companies all the ideas that they needed.
We've been giving them ideas since podcast 1, and you know, I'm just waiting for them checks, but
yeah. But I will say that
Yes.
Oh my god.
Nick.
Nick, you're so pretty.
What was the name of that, the witch from the Holes? Mademoiselle or
Something like
know
that.
I don't know.
you
No,
look
I
exactly
don't.
like her. But
Pretty, Nick.
yeah, you look very lovely, Nick.
I mean, I can totally see that. I mean, the only thing is that if it happens, it's gonna have to be like the gaming companies are not gonna do it, right? Because they don't have enough resources to do it.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
gotta
would
be
have
like
to
the
be like, yeah, it's gonna have to be like Microsoft, Sony, Google, even though they don't do it, but they might be like, you know, we got this cool software, you know what it does? It does these cool things, and you pay us only a monthly fee of $1 trillion. And they're like, okay, I'll take it. It saves us $2 trillion.
Okay, I remember what I was gonna say. I'm sorry, Nick, but what I was gonna say was that streaming can be lucrative if you do find an audience, and if you have a really big audience, then you can make a lot of money. So companies are observing this, and they're just like, well, shit, like they're making hundreds of, potentially millions of dollars. Like, oh, we want the cut of that. So this is why for big streamers, it's gonna be like a little road bump for them, but for us, like small streamers who don't really have like a say and don't have much money, we're pretty much fucked.
I wonder how some of those brand deals work. Do you think the brand deals are one-sided? Do you think that they're just like that they're just like, hey, we want you to promote this game. Here's our game, and then here's this check. Or do you think that they get a portion of the revenue that they make?
No,
I think it's one-sided.
just a check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
just a
think it's
check.
funny because you know how you talked about that guy from what is it, Stadia or whatever?
Stadia, yeah.
Stadia. In his tweet, there was a guy that actually got paid by Stadia to promote their game, and he was like, "Hey, I actually got paid by you guys to promote your game, and play your game." And I thought that was hilarious. I'm just like, bro, why are you preaching this shit and you're the one doing it?
Yeah, but the way that in the future potentially has like how it's gonna work is that instead of them paying you to promote the game, you're gonna be paying them to promote their game. That's essentially what the developers want.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I mean, would you? Another question, wrapping this all up. Would you pay for? Okay, I guess 2 questions. Would you pay for a license to an album if it was cheap enough, and so that you could listen to it on stream or like just whenever and not get copywritten? And 2, would you pay for the license for a video game for the same reasons?
Wait, before we actually start on this, is this assuming that they have in place the framework to verify all these things? Because
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like oh like I've been really liking this new Kendrick Lamar album. I want to listen to it with my viewers. I'm gonna buy the license to it so that we can jam out.
Oh no, dude, that's expensive. That would be expensive as fuck.
Do you think that video game licenses are gonna be expensive as fuck?
But what if they have a streamer bundle?
I know, right? You get not only do you get these games, but you also get Weird Al's best hits. I don't know.
No, they're like student discount. You know how they have the student discount versus the normal one, and it's like a big student discount. It will be like the streamer discount. They're like, we know you're a streamer. They ask you like, how big audience do you have? 10 to 20, 50 to 60, 80 to 100, 1,000 to a billion. Oh, I'm at the 10, 0 to 10.
Have different tiers of how much you have to pay.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And then you have to link in your Twitch, and it tells them the average viewers.
Ooh.
It's gonna get really technical. I'm just thinking about it, like the whole picture. Just to give you guys perspective, like, do you guys know California Love? That song?
California
Love. Oh, this is
you know how much that costs to license that one song?
Much.
$40,000 to license that one song. I mean, for like really big companies, it's like I said, road bump, like whoop. But for us, like, oh fuck, okay, we had to cut off my arm, Nick's arm, Stevie's arm, Darrena's foot, and like I don't know, we had to like lose limb.
I don't want none of this.
But yeah, like it's expensive, like just that one song. So now you're talking about a Kendrick Lamar album, a la madre, bro. Fuck, dude, that's one song, and that song came out in the '90s. Granted that it's very popular, but still in the '90s, like.
Wait, Kendrick. Oh, that song. I was like, Kendrick Lamar was in the '90s.
No, that's the Kendrick Lamar's is newer, so I would expect it to be a whole album like in the millions, bro. Like to license that shit.
Yeah, and I mean, like right now, like there's people that actually have the licenses for them, but Twitch doesn't care. Like they don't have a system set up to be going through like all these people that are giving them like, hey, I actually own this, or I actually have permission from the author or whatever.
That's the other thing.
They don't have time for this. Like I said, they need money. They need to ship out their boxes. And
need money. Give me money now. Money I need. Or whatever from Always Sunny.
I think the quick fix for this, and it's probably never gonna happen, is that they just buy whatever system YouTube has or license it from them and then just implement it on theirs. But I know that will never happen because it's Google and Amazon, and they're gonna be like butting heads. And obviously Google has the one up on this shit, and they're just like doing the na like we already did this 8 years ago. Fuck you, Amazon. Like, but yeah, like they're really pretty much for the meantime they're fucked, and the creators are gonna be dealing with that shit. So
yep. So bundle up. It's gonna be a cold winter.
and a spooky Halloween. It's already being spooky right now, man.
Already spooky.
Dude, I'm spooked out by this whole conversation we're having.
Dude, like, oh man, like, somebody big's gonna get banned. Like, I can already see it coming. somebody big is gonna get banned because either like something happened,
Someone's
or
on
like, they didn't get
vacation.
their stuff taken down, or some random clips, and then they go to YouTube, and then YouTube becomes the biggest streaming platform because everybody got banned from Twitch.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact Reckful's gonna get banned. Like all his VODs, his legacy is gonna be boop, disappear. It's gonna be gone.
Oh.
And lastly, the last thing I'll add to this conversation is that big partnered streamers that only have subscriber mode only, those didn't get DMCA'd because the bots that were implemented to check those audios and stuff, those files, they weren't allowed to go in because it was only subscriber only, and those bots aren't subscribed. So currently they're immune. But eventually, once those bots do have permission, because they are going to get permission, then those people are going to be, boom, banned. Like, they're gone. Like, this was their warning, but they missed their warning. So, like, I'm not sure how Twitch is going to implement that, because, like, they never got notified because the bots weren't allowed to be on their stream. And an example for that is Nick Merckx. Like, his streams are only subscriber only, and he did not get notified because he's just there playing COD and the background he has music and whatever playing in the background, and he's DMCA like liability, so but he never got notified. So once those bots do go in there to do the second round check, like, oh, did these people like actually do what they were supposed to, and he didn't, he's gonna get boom, Thanos snapped out of Twitch, like he's gone.
50% of all streamers gone. Way out.
Hey, it's SavePoint to the top, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Now's our time.
Everyone's gone. You're like, oh fuck, okay, this is time. Come on out.
Oh, back to Fortnite. Let's go.
But yeah, like this was a very long conversation, and if you guys have any input, if you have your own opinions, make sure to leave a comment down in the comment section, or if you want us to talk about something specifically, leave a comment as well. And lastly, if you want another person to be on our podcast, then make sure to comment there as well. But yeah, this is SavePoint, and we're signing out. See you guys at the next SavePoint.
Bye.
Bye.